There's an apocryphal story that's told that takes place in the hallowed halls of one of the great law schools of this country. The proctor administering an exam tells the students, pens down, time to hand in your papers. And of course, there's one student who keeps at it, takes a little more extra time, and hands in his paper 5 minutes late. The proctor says, "You failed. You can't hand it in." The student says, "Do you know my name?" Proctor says, "I don't know your name. I don't care to know your name." Student says, "Do you know who I am?" Proctor says, "I don't know who you are, and I don't care who you are." At which point the student says, "Good." He shoves his paper into the pile and runs off. Tonight, I feel the power of the Algemeiner community. Both old friends and new friends, I feel the warmth and support enveloped by all of you as I assume my new task as CEO of Algemeiner. Now, the Algemeiner was founded on February 25th, 1972. It was a Yiddish newspaper, a weekly paper. The first edition completely sold out. It went on the newsstands for 25 cents, a quarter. Very few things in life are cheaper today than they were 52 years ago. But the Algemeiner today is actually less expensive than that first edition. About 7 months later, October 3rd, 1972, about 25 minutes away from where the Algemeiner was founded, a beautiful baby boy was born in Maimonides Hospital. And his name was David M. Cohen. You can ask my mother, who's in the room, that I was a cute baby. Now, my origins are not Yiddish speaking. My lovely wife, Rachel, who's here, is Viennese. Her first language is German, so it's close to Yiddish, but I don't speak too much Yiddish. But just like the Algemeiner has evolved over 52 years of history, I've also evolved and have played a myriad of professional roles. The Algemeiner went from Yiddish to English, from print to online, from a weekly to a daily. My career has similarly evolved and developed. I began as an attorney, a corporate attorney here in Manhattan. I served as a spiritual leader for a decade in Manhattan. I was an author, a podcaster, and now I'm a media executive. Both myself and the Algemeiner are 52 years young. We have a very solid foundation to build upon to take our work to an entirely new level of engagement. But why now? Why am I here tonight? Why did I agree to assume this tremendous task of stewarding the Algemeiner forward into the future? There are many reasons, but I will succinctly share with you two. One is, as our adversaries often say, that there's the little Satan, Israel, and then there's the big Satan, the United States of America. And I love Israel, but I also love this country, where I was born and where I lived for most of my life. And I am very afraid of the rhetoric in this country, of the lack of moral clarity that we find in the media, on college campuses, and I feel a tremendous sense of responsibility to stand up and to be heard and to be sure that voices of clarity prevail over the voices of falsehood that we perpetually hear in the media. Secondly, it strikes me, I want to give her a shout out. Erin Molin is in the room. I heard her this morning, unfiltered, jet-lagged, talking about how the world we live in is crazy. It's a crazy world. And the future leaders of this country are sitting on college campuses right now being fed lies and falsehood and misinformation. And they read the media and they're being given misinformation. And we have a responsibility to stand up and to fight back and to ensure that the messages of media outlets like ours that represent truth, authenticity, portraying the Jewish people in Israel in the appropriate light We must stand up in these critical times and do that job.